Hey guys, how you doing? Sean here again. So I'm just going to show you one of the setups where you're going to want to opt for a more greedy play. In fact, I'm even going to go for a Dock+TC in this game because it's inland. Just actually pause it, switch to full screen, save myself having to do this one for a third bloody time. In fact, actually, sorry, this is the third time, save for doing for a fourth time. That's why the videos have been a little bit later than I said they would. So, the villagers, here. Let's get you to scout. That's a bigger map. I'm going to opt for that early wood storehouse. Going to maybe try and get hunting dogs if I think about, if I feel like it, or if not, maybe just skip that, go straight for the water at this stage. Can't seem to find a hunt at this point. Here we go. So for now, in terms of how your villager flow sort of is at this point, it's not going to matter 100%, but something like this will probably fare you right. So I'm going to keep actually adding villagers here to take those villagers off the berries as that storehouse finishes up. So I can look at getting enough wood to really throw down the dock early. In fact, I'll do it now. In fact, I can take you, because I've already got 4 villagers on the wood, and throw down the dock. So that's already on the way. Mostly want to worry about wood gathering from here. In fact, you can even have him fish from the lake, although it is a little bit slower than the hunt, so I'll probably even just bring him back. Keep clearing hunts. Make sure to try and scout your opponent out a little bit early whenever you're trying to do greedy play. So try not to dilly-dally too long with your scout back at home. Although being Celt, I'm going to need houses to actually age up. So I'm going to get them early regardless. Because as long as they're within TC range, they're not going to be in trouble. Opponent might even try and focus them instead of villagers, which is actually a really good thing. Although maybe got those a tad too early. Maybe just skip one of the houses so you can actually get the fishing boat as soon as you can. Ideally, I shouldn't have thrown those down. I shouldn't have thrown the second one down. The first one would have been fine because I would have had the wood to get it out anyway. The second one, I could have delayed that for another half a second, I suppose. I mean, another couple of seconds. So, in fact, what I can keep doing is get some more wood. Get another fishing boat on the way. And then look at setting up for my H3. So, get my third house. Let's start me stone gathering. Keep scouting up the water to see what my opponent's up to at this stage. Trying to get any herdables that I can. I didn't actually spot any production facilities in his base at this stage. So I think I'm going to be okay to just keep on macroing up behind this. Keep villager production up constantly. I should keep this down. Because I'm Celt, I can afford to just keep spending any excess wood. And then taking the age now. So my opponent's distance gathering, so I know all the more macro. Whenever your opponent's distance gathering or doing anything inefficient, you know that the more macro you can fit in, the better before you actually attack him, because you're just going to have that much more stuff than him. It's not even going to matter. So I should have the stone and the wood ready in time. In fact, I can even cut most of this, get back onto there, take another dock behind this, chuck it on a different production hotkey because they're in 2 different lakes. Make sure I've still got villager production behind this. In fact, even get a little bit of gold because I might want to look at attacking his. If he docks there, actually attacking his dock with my warships. So I'm in a good position right now on a big map like inland to contest 2 lakes. I've got gold income on the way. Got enough stone for my town centre. Gonna have enough wood for one in just a second. Get some eco upgrades. I can probably get Pickaxe in a second. Let's throw this down up here because it's a good spot for it. You can defend these resources quite easily. Go to a different production. The pickaxes. One thing is important to note though, you want to get as little food as possible off the land. When you do a build like this, you really only want 1 or even 0 villagers on the hunt at this stage. And I can even queue up pickaxe. Some more villagers on the wood in the meantime. And this dock is just about ready to finish up. Sort of obscured at this point. If he was fishing, he'd probably have a pond there. I can even look at pulling back. And then, yeah, distance fishing or even throwing out the early spawn ship because I've already got the gold for it. So yeah guys, that's sort of a bit of a guide. From here, I'm obviously going to want to keep scouting your opponent out and add the production facilities sort of as soon as you can. If your second town centre is closer, get the production facilities at that sort of at the edge, just in range. So you're going to have the ability to pressure the hell out of your opponent. In fact, I'm going quite heavy on the wood because from here I can add a lot of production quite quickly. And really ramp things up. Because if your opponent hasn't punished you by this stage, I'll even do this. I don't know why I'm going at 4 there, not necessary, but it's a little bit faster. I can bring my scout back actually, start scouting out all these distance hunts back here, and if he hasn't attacked you by now, which he probably should have, but it's not uncommon on inland for your opponent and you to just sort of play a bit of a passive game. Get ready to take upgrades for your military units. Get up to 3 to 5 production facilities as quickly as you can. And yeah, look at taking a fight. He's probably not going to be able to respond to this in time. I get conditioning, force out some quick units. Don't necessarily need that much gold just yet. Another production facility. Whole bunch of houses. Never have too many houses, particularly on Celt. And then just make sure I've got optimal saturation at this lake. And even come back around. Check with your scout as well. Don't forget to keep checking. Be vigilant on the map. Figure out what else is going on. I could even look at clearing that out, or I could even look at just using a couple of land units to do it. So from here, yeah, my economy can really snowball. I could even take a quick age 3. It's not uncommon for PvPs to actually do that on this map. Get some armory upgrades on the way. Add another armory in if he hasn't attacked you by now. So yeah, right now, if your opponent's playing a really passive game, the advantage is really going to be yours because you're just going to have so much more crap over him at the lower levels of play. In fact, I can bring you back, clear the hunts. Keep my scout vigilant so I know he hasn't taken either of these waters. I can figure out if there's another water down here. Oh, that's housed, that's bad. But if you're about to get housed, you can take upgrades on both TCs, fill up your queues, take your other eco upgrades if you can afford them. Looks like I need to actually get some gold. I'll come back, take my gold. Celt get a pretty gold-free H2 start, so you can take full advantage of that really. Get some upgrades popping in a second. In fact, I can even look at taking a 3rd leg at this stage of the game. And you just want to keep adding. Let me get back to work, thank you. So I'm getting housed way more than I should be. You guys aren't seeing any of this happen. It's all just your imagination. In fact, with Celt as well, against pretty much any civ, up to the fairly intermediate levels of play, you can pretty much just overwhelm your opponent with a build like this. In particular with Celt, just because you don't have to really focus on getting good cavalry usage. You just sort of make sure to spend everything that you possibly can. We're going all the way up to 8 production facilities right now. So just get, if you wanna learn the macro well, play builds like this because it will just teach you to build as much shit as you possibly can in 10 to 12 minutes, and then you just learn to floor opponents with that. Take all the eco upgrades you possibly can. Yeah, if your opponent is ever playing this dormant, just kill him, honestly. So I've got a big army. I haven't really even been keeping tabs on his base. In fact, I'll keep my army back, and I will go in with my scout. I'll just figure out what he's up to. Wonder how much shit he's got. He's probably not got as much as me. He doesn't have as much as me. Perfect. Alright, now I can take a fight, and Bob's your Arnie if he wears a dress. Alright guys, so that's a bit of a guide. It's a more greedy oriented play. Obviously it sort of differs a bit to Civ, from Civ to Civ. With any Civ other than Celt, you're probably going to actually want to follow up from the greed with some form of aggression. Whereas with the Celts, it's probably best off trying to take a direct fight. In fact, you probably want to get your Sacred Grove and your Bard Hall. Your Bard Hall is going to give you Civ-specific upgrades. Sacred Grove going to give you your priest units. Try and take your upgrades as you go. Keep an eye on your resources. Make sure you're not banking too much of one or the other. And yeah, just keep your production queues full. I haven't got a lot of gold, so what I can do is actually spam spears, get some slingers in behind that. I've got the guild unit cap. Anyway guys, yeah, so that's just a bit of a quick rundown on playing sort of as greedy as you can early. And on maps that you can really get away with it are obviously ones like inland. Quite large, you and your opponent are probably going to opt to try and take 2 or 3 waters. In fact, it's always a good idea just to send some units to scout each, well, even in a single unit really, to scout each waterline and just figure out what's going on. But yeah guys, cheers for watching.